I got going on here is these are brackets that we cut off that skid but need to be replaced to another location, but for the bands that hold the tank. But we don't need the full bracket that holds the skid on. We just need it in the back just to hold the straps for the tank. So I'm gonna remove all this excess. You can see I cut one already. I'll cut this one, and then I'm gonna take and all this excess here from the other bracket, I've got to trim all that off, clean it all up. So that's what we're gonna do. So really loving this plasma cutter. It's awesome. So we'll go ahead and show it in action. So that blew that weld off fairly well. I got to mark a line across here, and then I can slice that one and then grind it. Okay, now I'll go ahead and take the grinder, clean all the face up, and clean that one up over here. And then when we get the skid over, we'll weld them on for the tank straps to hold the tank in. I'm thankful for this plasma cutter.
All right, well, we're pulling it out now. We got all the stuff welded on it that I think we need welded. So now it's gotta come out, gotta pull the tank off, take that skid off, get the skid ready for paint it nice black. And then there's a lot of plumbing and stuff that's gotta be done on the truck side. The hydraulics gotta be all redone because we moved the tank. So that's the next steps while the paint dries. And when the paint's cured and the truck's ready, it all goes back on it. Again, on, off, on, off, on, off. That's okay, that's how it works. Not get in the field today. Okay, that's fine. We still got work to do to this thing. So speaking of work, you give it a quick wash down again. It's a little wet. I'm gonna grab some paper towels. I'm gonna wipe this thing down real nice. And then we've got some direct to metal paint, and I'm gonna get a roller out and I'm gonna roll it and brush it on, because I just don't think we need to spray this. It's a tank cradle. It'll work just great. So let's get cleaning it up. I'll get the roller out. Let's make the thing look black.
Since we removed the tank and the frame that supports the tank, the next step that I'm doing right now while they're prepping that and starting to paint it, I need to start figuring out how I want to reroute all the hydraulic lines that are going to go to this tank, because this tank now is removed or moved into a different location. If you look down here, it's kind of a little bit of a mess. It wasn't so bad when it was all connected in this tank. Things were fairly organized, but it got rearranged quickly. And I need to go through and make sure that we have enough hose and enough fittings to make everything happen. So yeah, it's gonna be a little busy, but let's get to work, because that's all I can do, right?
When we were taking the booms off Big Brute to get it ready to be a fire truck, we broke a bunch of these Deutz connectors, I think they call them, and they were just so fused into the hydraulic valve body on the back of the sprayer that we had to use like vice grips and all kinds of stuff to get them to pop out. It was bad. There's just not a lot of room. So I got to replace a bunch of these, but fortunately I've got all these from our Thomas LED lights that we've gotten over the years. We've had a bunch of extras and they're the same connectors. Legarms found out. So, easy job. These solder seal wire connectors, pretty cool. You just basically put it over the exposed wire and use a heat gun and melt it down and apply solder. So it should be a fast job. Just, you know, that did look that black once. That's what it looked like when we first painted this thing. Isn't that nuts? So, the frame on the truck is actually curved. We put this on there, and as we tighten down one side, it lifts the other side up. So there's a smile, I guess you'd say a frown, to the actual truck frame. But we're gonna bolt her down tight. That's what he's doing, and then this is all gonna get welded solid. Right here and right here and right here and right here and all this. So it'll all even out, it'll all be fine, but that's amazing. About that much 2-inch difference between the front and the back with the way the frame arches. Black looks good though. The tank's ready to go on too. It's just hanging out over here. So as soon as we're ready, we'll drop it on there. Back is welded solid. We might plate it a little more just to guarantee that there's no flex in that, but we're gonna put fenders on because we wanna add one more strap on the fender to keep the fenders from banging hard. We did that on the old fenders, on the old frame, and it worked pretty good, so we gotta do it on this one too. But we can drive this truck now because the hydraulics are all tied in, so I can fire it up and drive it out on its own power now, which is really nice.
Okay, we're gonna put the fenders on because we want to find the right place to bolt the top of the fender to this frame so it keeps it from bouncing back and forth, kind of twisting as it's going down the field. So best thing to do is put the fender on, we'll bolt it up, get it to the right position, angle, and then figure out where we want the bracket, weld it on, attach it to the fender, and then we'll do the same thing to the other side. And then we'll put the tank on.
I guess moment of truth, guys. I think we're ready for the tank. We got the fenders on nice and tight. Had to make some new brackets on the side because the original brackets just weren't enough for these big old heavy metal fenders. They were starting to crack when we got the truck. We noticed right away. So we put an extra strap right here. That just really helps lock it in so it can't bounce, but we're ready. Legarms is getting the loader, tank sitting on it. I'll back this truck up, put the tank on. You guys know what that's for? One thing I didn't think about when we were doing this whole project, Leg Arms' dad actually was reminded me, is like, oh yeah, there's a cradle that's supposed to hold the booms up when you're in transport. I didn't think about that, and we don't have a lot of room to work with right here. But Dad's making it work. He's using some iron that we had, as well as chopping up the old frame, and I think we're gonna be able to fit it right here. So we'll see how it works in the end, but I'm just plumbing away. A lot of plumbing, a lot of fittings. They don't sell some of these type flat face fittings locally. It's like an hour, hour and a half away to get them, and they're not open today. So I'm going with what we have, but I think I have enough to plumb everything to the back to get ready for when we put the booms on. So if I can keep working on that, he keeps working on this. And I don't know where Leg Arms is. He disappeared today. Okay guys, I think we're there. That's anchored and solid. Looks true. We braced it right here, bolted to the frame, bolted to the frame of the tank. So if we do need to remove that, we can, but it is solid. Obviously we got some painting to do and some buffing, but that's after we get all the booms on, everything checks out okay. But I think we're ready to do some booms. So let's fire up, let's run over to the booms we left them, and we're gonna hook the hydraulics up, hook the electronics up, see if we can get it to wing up, and then we get to readjust the way it racks here. And then if we get it all in, we're in business, we'll bring it back over here and keep working on it. Good. All right, I think we're good to go. I'm gonna go take it over, put some water in, and we're gonna check for leaks. I'm guessing there's gonna be two leaks. You can hold me to that. I'm a little concerned about that pump because it ran dry for a while. Hope we don't have any surprise with that, but we're gonna find out soon enough. So when I get some water in, I'll be able to test that out. Then I'm gonna run through all the spray sections, make sure all the nozzles are working how I want them. And if it looks good, I'm gonna go get some chemical, go get the Mixmate system set up on our spray tender, and get ready to start nailing some weeds. Oh, they're in for it. I'm gonna get a shellacking. Coming for you, weeds.